What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left, and today I'm going to tell you guys the story about how the guy downstairs, my neighbor who lives under me, literally made my life a living hell for almost 2 years. Freaking long story too, guys, by the way. So get your tea, go get your popcorn, go get your chips, go get your blanket. Okay, and before I start the story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I know you guys want to see more of me. Are you dumb? Turn on that bell. Ding. But when I first moved into this building, Shamar and I would play loud music. We make music. Like, we would play loud music in the beginning because we dead ass forgot that other people could hear us. We have 2 bedrooms, okay? And 2 bathrooms. So our first bedroom is obviously our room, and our second bedroom is our studio. We have a home studio there. That's where I record all my music. That's where he makes all the beats. Like, that's the studio room. We got a 2-bedroom for that purpose. Where the studio room is in the apartment is at the very corner at the end. So there's no one beside us. The wall on the left side of the room is basically, there's nothing there, like we're the end. And the wall on the right side of the room is our bedroom. So I'm like, yo, we're isolated, nobody could hear us. What I would do just to make sure, I'd close all the doors, I would go onto the living room and I'd make Shamar blast music and I wouldn't hear shit. Well, at first, we were playing music, like 1 a.m. And then the first week we moved here, I hear a knock on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and police came to my door saying that a neighbor complained that we were making too much noise. So then we kind of got a reality check and we're like, shit, this is not soundproof. People could hear us. Let's shut the fuck up. So then I literally go on ontario.ca and I look to see the rules and regulations of when you live in a building with other people. The law states that after 11 p.m. is when you have to shut the fuck up. Like before 11 p.m., as long as you are not blasting music and you're not having a party, then you're good to make as much noise as you need until 11 p.m. Obviously, we already got noise complaints. We're not gonna blast music again. We're watching the TV at very moderate, normal volume. When we did make music, we didn't play it loud at all. It was very, very low, or we turn off the bass. We were considerate. So it was still the first month of us moving in, and I'm vacuuming and the TV's on. I have Apple TV, so I connected my phone to the TV because the speakers were in my room. I didn't feel like bringing them out. So what I did is that I transitioned my screen to my TV screen, so the music would be playing off my TV. My TV doesn't have bass like that, and it can't really go that loud. It only goes as loud as a TV can go, you know what I'm saying? So I was just playing music, and this was around 6:30 p.m. okay? I'm vacuuming, I'm listening to music. I hear this hefty knock on the door, like it was police. It was this loud ass knock. My first thought is why is police coming to my house again? I'm not making noise. So I look through the peephole and I see this little black man, okay? I open the door and I'm like, hi, can I help you? And he's like,
you're blasting the music so loud.
But I'm not even blasting music. I'm literally playing the music at 35 on the television, 35, and vacuuming. So what are you talking about? So I'm like, I'm not even playing music loud. I'm playing music on my TV. And furthermore, the law states that I could make as much normal noise until 11 p.m. So I don't know what you're listening to. Whatever you're hearing is not me. He goes,
ever since you guys moved in here, I've been losing sleep and you guys are just making so much noise.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm gonna complain to the building on you.
And I'm like, but I'm not making noise. I only made noise that one night.
This is what they're saying about you.
Not true.
These aren't old rumors.
Not true. Whether they're old rumors, new rumors,
why would they
future
say this
rumors,
about you?
Not true.
I felt disrespected. The way he came at me was very disrespectful. It'd be different if he came to me and saying hi, I know you guys just moved in, but can you just keep it down a little bit because I'm trying to sleep or something, you know? It's not what he said, is how he said it. Man literally attacked me. Don't attack me, boo. I'm not the one. I put him in his place. I'm like, don't be coming knocking at my door, being disrespectful, claiming that I'm making all this noise when I'm just listening to music on my TV and vacuuming. He goes,
oh, I hear the vacuuming, it's very loud.
Well, it's 6:30. So I literally just kissed my teeth and I closed my door. I told him to leave. Let's just be very mindful of him and let's just not make noise. If we're gonna play music, have it very, very, very low, no bass, period. So this was just maybe a couple days later. I had my girl Kiki over and Shamar had his brother over, and we were literally just chilling. We were just watching TV. We were talking, I was in the living room, Shamar and his brother were in the studio, and they were just vibing. They weren't making loud noise because I would have heard it. If it was that loud, I would have heard heard the loud noise. I was in the living room. I didn't hear shit. When all the doors are closed, I don't hear anything. I'd walk past them to go to the bathroom, like they weren't making loud noise. I'm in the living room, me and Kiki are just having conversation, the TV's just on, you know. I hear a big knock on the door. It was around like 7:30 p.m. Big knock on the door. First thing that I'm thinking is that it's too late for the mailman to come. I already got my mail for the day, so who is that? So I'm like, if this is police again, I swear to God, I go to the door. I look, it's a security guard. The security guard, he's so rude. He's like,
people underneath said that you're making too much of loud noise. I don't hear anything when I'm outside, but he's saying it, and I went into his house and I heard the footsteps.
Footsteps? I live here. Of course you're going to hear footsteps. Like, I'm sorry, it's 7:30 p.m. So then I'm vexed at this point. I'm like, yo, this guy's literally with me. I'm not making noise. Shamar Carey's not making noise. What is his issue? Why is he saying that he's hearing footsteps? Of course you're gonna hear footsteps. We live here, sir. So I got angry and I'm like, yo, let's go downstairs. So all of us go downstairs and I knock on his door and I'm like, you know, you've been complaining on me since I moved in. I can agree that I made noise in the beginning, but I stopped making noise because I am trying to be cautious and I'm aware that people live around me. So I'm not going to be playing loud music. I'm making sure that, you know, everything's at a decent level. Not quiet. Everything's at a decent level that it should be. So I go to him, I'm like, you know, I make music, I'm an artist, and he's my producer, so we're gonna have to play music. So what times do you sleep so I know not to play music in those times? Is there a time that like you're not gonna be home because I have to make music because I am an artist and I need to listen to my music out loud? I'll stop at a specific time, but I'm trying to reason with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna stop playing music, period, because I live here, but I'm willing to just like work something out with you. And he's like,
I want you to stop playing music forever. Like, I don't want you to play music at all anymore.
and then I got angry and I'm like, I pay my own rent. You cannot tell me what to do in my house. I pay my own rent. Like, don't try that. Basically trying to say that we have to respect him in a way. Like,
Oh, hell no!
we didn't all four of us go up to him. There was just all four of us there. So they were near the elevator, like just kind of listening. And me and Shamar were dealing with it. But Carrie heard that he was being he's just like, yo, point of the matter, it didn't get solved, okay? Now there's beef. Before you were annoying, but now there's low-key beef. I was never spiteful. Like, I just didn't want the problems. I was over it. Every single day we got security called on us. Every day. And I'm not over-exaggerating when I tell you every day, to the point where the security guards knew what was going on. And I'm like, yo, I would go to them. I'm like, yo, this guy who's calling security on me, he's insane. Like, I think he has some sort of obsession with me.
Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know.
He was trying so hard to get me kicked out of the building for no reason. Like, I wasn't even making noise. And like, you would think this is like a middle-aged white guy, lonely, has nothing better to do. No, this is a black man. Almost 2 years I was dealing with this guy. He was calling security on me every day, like every single day. If a dish broke, security. If I was vacuuming, security. I couldn't do anything. I felt like I couldn't even watch TV. My friends would be over and I'd be like, shh, guys, we can't be so loud. Like, we laugh too loud. We got security called on us because we were laughing, like at like 7:30. Yo, one time security came to my crib at 10 a.m. Hold on, my Uber Eats is here. On the lows, this could be a little like mukbang. It's not a mukbang because it's not a mukbang, but you guys are I'm just gonna talk to you guys while I eat. Oh, I was getting so frustrated. Literally talking about him really raised my blood pressure. Oh, this camera's all like crooked. Yeah, there. I feel like I didn't even move it, but whatever. This is the best milkshake I've ever had. Ooh, what else do I have? Listen to what I want, guys. So I bought myself, and this is all for myself. I love food, as you can tell. So I bought myself 4 Junior Whoppers, mozzarella sticks, 2 apple pies, and a cheesecake, and a whole milkshake. And this probably won't even satisfy me. I really love food, guys. Like, it's a real problem. This is hitting today. I'm furious, okay? I'm freaking furious. So I go downstairs and I tell the building what's going on. There's a guy who lives under me. He's literally obsessed on security, and they were just like, yeah, like he keeps saying that there's noise. Like the building doesn't know what to believe at this point, because this guy like is literally calling security on somebody every day. Obviously they're making noise, right? Every single time the security guard comes to my door, they always tell me that they were standing outside my door for 5 minutes listening to see if there was any loud noise, and there was not, except for that one security guard that one time that said that he heard footsteps. Like, I live here. I felt so bad for the security guards, because every single time a security guard has to go up to your building, they have to write out this like form saying what they heard. Maybe maybe 6 times a week. Like, I'll be lucky if one day out of the whole week I didn't get the security called on me. So every day I always been like, you guys don't hear anything? You know you don't hear anything? He's insane. Just write down that you didn't hear anything, or write down what you heard. This one security guard, she was so sweet. She was like an East African lady. She came up and she's like, every day he calls the security on you and I don't hear anything. Like, yo, sometimes security would be waking me up out of my sleep, 3 o'clock in the morning, knocking on the door, and I'd be sleeping, okay? Sleeping. And it got to a point where I stopped answering the door. I'm like, yo, and I told the building, I'm like, yo, if I'm not making any noise, I'm not answering the door. I'm not doing this anymore. I was over it. He was literally calling security on me every single day for a whole year. A year passed and I get a letter with a notice of eviction to go to court to fight this, and attached to the letter was this log. The log had very specific timing, like on October 17th, 2017 at 1:54 a.m. there was loud noises emanating from the unit. There was footsteps and dragging of furniture and marbles being thrown. And there was literally like 20 different logs. The logs were literally just what he wrote down. He's trying to say that I'm dropping marbles on the floor to piss him off. I'm dragging furniture all the time, all hours of the night. He hears footsteps and loud music that's keeping him up. He can't sleep at night. Literally going to die if we don't move out. So you know what I did? I went through the log and I'm like, okay, like let me just see where I was at these times, so I have some sort of evidence to show the judge that he's crazy. And honestly, I didn't even get a lawyer. I fought my own case. I looked at the time that he said, specific times, and I looked through my phone and I'm like, yo, I take a lot of pictures. Let's match these times up to where I actually was on this day. So that I'm going through my pictures. He'd say like at 2:45 a.m. on February 3rd, loud music and dragging furniture being made. And I looked to see, and I'm like, yo, on this specific date at this specific time that he was saying that I was making all this noise, I wasn't even home. Nobody was home. There was a picture of me and Shamar at like my friend's party. Like, yo, he's crazy. So then I'd be doing that, and like there were so many dates that didn't add up that he literally just made up. He made up these dates, saying at these random times, and he just calling security on nothing. So then I'm at court now, and like the first day I went, I was super nervous. I went by myself. My mom followed me to go to the court, and my mom was just telling me, this is what you do, this is what you say. My mom watches a lot of court stuff, so she was just like, you have to present your pieces of evidence. Before I went up to court, I did a lot of research on how you present a case, and what you do is that you have to present your evidence. Exhibit number 1. What happened is that the first time I go to court, this is the first time, I go with my mom. He's saying that like we're purposely taking marbles and just dropping them on the floor to piss him off. Yo, one time, my little sister, she jammed her finger in the door, so she was crying at like 11:30 p.m. and security got called on me that someone's crying. Like it was just so bad. My building management was there, and my building management was literally on our side. Prior to going, my building management showed us literally a Bible full of reports from the security guards saying that there was no noise. There was like 2 reports saying that they heard some sort of noise. 2 reports out of a Bible full of nothing, like literally nothing. When it was my turn to talk, I asked my building management, I'm like, because there was a point in time that one time security called on us at like 10:30 a.m. and Shamar was gone and I was home by myself, and luckily I was on the phone with my mom at the time. My building management, she came up and she's like,
he complained again and saying that you're blasting music right now like there's a party.
I had my sleeping mask on, you could tell I just woke up. I'm like, yo, come into my house. Do you hear any loud music?
She's like, I don't hear any loud music.
No, I'm like, okay, exactly.
Okay, well, he said it, but I don't hear anything, and I'm gonna make note of that.
So then a couple days later, I talked to my building management, and I'm like, did you figure out where the noise is coming from? They're like, yeah, it was coming from the guy under you. In court, I asked her about this. I'm like, I stated her name. What happened to when you came up to my house at this time? She's like,
I came into your house.
let's just call him Mr. Brown. Like,
Mr. Brown complained, saying that there was extremely loud music coming from emanating from the unit at 10:30 a.m. And when I went to go inspect it, verify that the music was not coming from their suite. It was actually coming from the suite under him. I went up to him and I told him it was not coming from your unit. It was coming from the unit under you.
the man was telling her,
No, I know it was coming from the unit above me.
I'm like, this man's literally sick. He's sick in the head. When I asked her about it, she told the judge what happened. And then I basically asked him about it. I'm like, so what do you have to say for yourself? So done. He's like,
The guy under me, he plays music, but like I can tell the difference.
but you can't tell the difference, because if you could tell the difference, you would know that that day you accused my apartment of making that noise that day when the apartment under me was making the noise. He goes,
That was one time I messed up. The other times I know I'm 100% sure.
and the judge asked him, Mr. Brown, where are you getting the statistics from? How are you 99.999% sure if you were wrong the first time? He's just like,
I just know I'm sure.
so after the first time in court, I asked him those two questions, and then the court got adjourned. The court hearing was in April 2018, and in June 2018 was when it was adjourned. Second time I went to court, his lawyer was such a dick. Like, his lawyer was making it seem I'm making all of this shit up. His client has no reason to lie about this. Like, his lawyer was actually, my mom even cussed his lawyer. Like, it was a thing. Like, second time, literally at court, it was just the same thing. He didn't actually show up at court the second time, and I'm like, yo, I have so many other questions. I want to ask him questions, and he wasn't there the second time to court, so I couldn't ask him questions. I want to adjourn the case again so he can come back, right? They're like, no, let's just do the case right now. So I basically was just explaining to the judge that he's literally ruined my life. Can't do anything. I'm literally walking on eggshells all the time. I have to put everything at limited volume, and I pay my rent, you know, so it's annoying. I gave the judge the evidence. His lawyer was trying to say that the evidence was fake, like, oh, show me your phone that these were where the pictures are. Judge, I'm not showing him his phone. And the judge is like, yeah, she doesn't have to show you the phone. No. So after that happened, the judge said I would get their decision in the mail of what the outcome was. I was very worried. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get kicked out. I love my apartment. Like, I love where I live. I even was looking at different like places to move to, because like I thought I was gonna have to leave. Like, my apartment's huge. Like, I have a big living room, a big kitchen. I have like a hallway and 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Like, I'm not gonna get a bigger place than this. And I live in a great neighborhood. Like, why should I have to move, you know? 5 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail saying that we have to go back to court for one last time. The judge wants to make sure that he's making the right decision. Basically, the guy downstairs had to come again. I was kicking his in court, yo. Like, yo, the second time when I was in court, I got offered a job. When I went to court the second time, there was a lawyer sitting in the, you know how a court is, like, there's other cases going on too, so everybody listens to everyone's cases kind of thing. There was a lawyer for another case sitting in the court with me, and he literally tapped my mom, and he was talking to my mom saying that I'm an amazing lawyer. And after the case was done, he pulled me and my mom aside. He said that he'd represent me in this case for free if anything happens. He will also offer me a position as a paralegal at his firm, and he'll train me. And I'm like, oh my god, like, I feel sick man. Are you dumb? I got offered a job with no experience. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Who could be like me? I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like, I kicked his. But I'm like, no, sorry, I can't. You know, I'm an artist. I don't want to be a paralegal, but thank you so much. And he said he'll represent me for free. But in all honesty, I didn't think I needed his representation. So when I went back the third time and he was there, he came on the stand, and I basically went up to him and I'm like, Mr. Brown, on this paper on where you log, you stated that on September 3rd, 2017 at 1:35 p.m. that there was loud music emanating from the unit. He's like,
Yes.
I'm like, can you explain that day to the court? He's like,
There was loud noise, but I can't really remember.
and the judge was like, what do you mean, Mr. Brown? What do you mean you can't remember? You wrote it down. How don't you remember? He goes,
Yeah, there was loud noise.
Exhibit A. So I give the lawyer one, I give the judge one, and I have one to give to Mr. Brown. So I go up to Mr. Brown and I'm like, the picture is a picture of me and Shamar at like dinner or something. Thank God for iPhone, it shows you the time that we were at dinner. Can you tell the court who these two people are? His lawyer knew I was kicking his and he had to stop it. So he said some lawyer that I wasn't aware of, and the judge was like, no, make her continue. Well, that's them too. I'm like, can you read the time? If the judge, after a certain amount of time, didn't stop me, I was just kept giving them evidence. Mr. Brown, can you read this? Mr. Brown, can you read that? Can you tell me the time it says on the picture that I was at these places? It is evident that Mr. Brown is delusional. He is making up all these accusations about me. He's either obsessed with me or he's hearing it from somewhere else and he's blaming it on me. But it is evident that I was not here for a lot of these dates that he said I was here. So it is possible that I wasn't the one that is making the noise. My closing statement is that I just want this to stop, and I want Miss to stop harassing me, and I want the security guards to stop coming to my door. Anyways, we left. So after the court, the judge is basically like, okay guys, I have all your evidence. I will take it into consideration very wisely, and you'll get a letter in the mail of my decision in 6 to 8 weeks. I walked out the court and like bare people were like, you did so good, you did so good. I felt like the man. And then me and Shamar were literally in the Uber just laughing like he's a moron, like he's dumb. Months later, I don't hear anything, so I'm just like, I must have won, because if I would have had to get evicted, they would have evicted me by now. And then randomly on like a random date 3 months later, I get a letter in the mail saying that I beat the case. And ever since I beat the case, in law you can't try the same thing twice. He can't bring me to court for this ever again. So ever since I won the case, life has been good. I've been able to live a normal life, because prior to that, I wasn't able to live a normal life. I'd be walking on eggshells for that isn't even my man, isn't even my dad. I pay my own rent. And like he'd see me in like the elevator sometimes. He would just be looking at me and I'd just be looking at him, and I'd be like, stop looking at me. You keep staring at me. Don't look at me. Right away he'd go downstairs saying that she's harassing me. And I'd be going down to the building management like he's insane. Like he was staring at me. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Why are you looking at me? Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. 3 days before Christmas one year, amazing black guy kick up my door, open my mailbox, look inside like, get the outside. I was scared. Like I was on the phone like 911. There was somebody in my house trying to break into my house. I looked through the people, some random black guy, like, who the are you? I go downstairs, I'm cheese. It's like 2 a.m. I go downstairs, I go to the building management, and I call the number, gonna say like, yo, somebody just tried to break into my house. I call, the guy who tried to break into my house answered. So the building management tried to kick down my door. Shamar literally chased him. He chased him outside, like chased him all the way outside. He was in his face. And I had to tell him like, yo, babe, it's not worth it. I had to write this long, strongly worded letter about how he did that to me, and I sent it to the building management, and I used that in court. A whole year has passed by since this happened. My last court case was September 2018, and now we're in September 2019, so a whole year has passed by, and it's literally been great. Like, it's been normal, like how it was supposed to be. It died down a little bit. I'm gonna send this piece of to his house. I know a website. So if you guys want to see that video of me sending a piece of to that house, comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.